Rick Grimes is still The Walking Dead's true main character, and even Daryl Dixon can't forget it, The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon highlights that Daryl, Norman Reedus, can make for a compelling protagonist, but also acts as a reminder that he's not the main character. Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln, remains The Walking Dead's leading figure, which Daryl's spinoff even emphasizes. While Rick hasn't had a significant role in the franchise in nearly 5 years, his return in The Ones Who Live scheduled for 2024 will be huge. Daryl may have stepped up to fill the role left by Rick. However, it is still apparent he is not the show's main character, even if he is a fan favorite. While the spinoff gives Daryl the chance to take center stage, it doesn't let the audience forget about Rick. Even without mentioning his name, some moments in the show reference Rick and his importance to the overall franchise. Whereas Dead City faced problems continuing the Walking Dead story, Daryl Dixon's first episode has already provided moments to link back to the wider narrative. The spinoff clearly aims to give fans more Daryl given he is so loved, but doesn't want it to feel as disconnected to the main story, unlike other shows. As a result, the heavy emphasis on Rick helps maintain his importance to the franchise going forward. Daryl Dixon's spinoff reminds you he was trying to find Rick Grimes. After Rick's departure in The Walking Dead, Daryl continues to look for his long-term ally, something the Daryl Dixon spinoff reinforces. During a dream sequence, Daryl hears Judith, Kaylee Fleming, voice and says to her, "I'll find them. I'll bring them home." This moment displays that finding Rick is still one of his main priorities, even dreaming about it. The main show went to great lengths, showing how long Daryl spent looking for Rick and how he believed one day he'd find him. Given how important this is to the character, it makes sense to carry this motive over while also reminding the viewers of Rick's presence. Reminding the audience about Rick in a spinoff that won't feature him is an unsubtle clue that he is still The Walking Dead's main man. It may come across like the showrunners don't have full faith in Daryl, but this is not the case. With Daryl being one of The Walking Dead's longest surviving characters, giving him his own spinoff makes it clear he is popular enough to carry his own show. He is a character original to the TV series, meaning his popularity is organic with no previous comic ties. Daryl is clearly one of the most important characters in the universe, but still not as important as Rick. Daryl Dixon copies an iconic Rick Grimes shot from The Walking Dead Season 1. Another reminder of Rick Grimes in the Daryl Dixon spinoff is a callback to one of the series' most iconic shots. Season 1 of The Walking Dead has some very distinct visuals, with Rick's horse ride into Atlanta being one of its most memorable scenes, even over a decade later. It is the shot used for posters and DVD covers surrounding the first season and is recognizable to most fans of the series. Daryl Dixon may not have replicated this like for like, but the show does include a visually stunning shot that is a reminder of this moment. During his journey through France, Daryl passed through some rundown train tracks. An elevated wide shot, like the one used in Rick's iconic scene, shows the emptiness of the tracks as well as buildings in the distance. It is reminiscent of the Season 1 shot in many ways, with the protagonist walking through an abandoned road or track, heading to the city in the background. This nod to Rick's introduction as a protagonist helps establish Daryl as one in his own right. At the same time, it continues to remind long-term fans of Rick and his long-awaited return, which isn't far away.